Bam Q pops your bot lane cause you like pain, but something about playing her, or him, or any ADC is just. So you strap a wizard hat on Gandalf the Grey's left nut and start pushing R on people. But then you realize you are more overextended than a dislocated finger, which means your heart starts beating faster, your body shaking under that triple extra small wizard robe. There's women identifying as spiders chasing you, jump scaring octopi at every turn. You're holding your breath, swerving like a drunk driver trying to dodge point and click abilities until you tap the rift clit to send you and a plate of cosmic killer calamari back into battle, where a clutch stun circle turns the tides. Your ally becomes an embryo, a light show gives that arachnid an aneurysm, and you have survived to see the day where a feather impregnates an egg. Your quest to be a less awful version of yourself continues, with you missing every possible ability that you can cuck at this counting psychopath until you eventually just outlast him. Like the whole fight was a Mr. Beast last to leave lane wins LP video, but it doesn't matter, you found a comp build for climbing and nothing can stop you.
An enemy is legendary.
Oh wait, this is SoloQ in a super snowball-y season, which means some smurf who's laning against your lowest IQ teammate is going to make LP seem like the holy grail, completely unobtainable for players who look like this, until you realize that this item literally counters SoloQ, and finding a champ to build it on makes your match history look like it got a boob job. You see, when someone starts rolling a snowball and you can simply say enjoy doing way less damage to me while sitting in stuns for a short eternity, it doesn't matter how much you miss everything, it's now your party and you can cry if you want to. So you get back to your grind, taking an exorbitantly long time to kill Luxes, telling Kleds there's a scantily clad kangaroo asking for a bone sesh in our jungle while you slip in the back door and flat out homicide his homies. Oh hey there Shaco, didn't see you there.
Yes!
Okay, that one scared me a bit, and I don't like being scared or girls with dragon tattoos building straight AP, exploiting the fact that you can launch an ADC killing barn door sized skill shot.
Rav, you are doing it again. You are letting League make you angry.
Right, sorry.
Remember your exercises, go to your happy place.
Okay, I'm going there now.
Great, can you describe it for us?
Yes, it's like an epic fictional land, and I'm the commander of an army of champions that I've collected and built up to fight epic bosses to get loot. It has global PvP, massive PvE, tons of champs, and I'm playing it on my phone so no one else can screw it up for me.
Ah yes, you call this happy place Raid Shadow Legends, I believe.
Exactly, and let me explain to you this crazy boss in Raid. You see, he is the guardian of the Void Keep. Malik Kavar, I call him. He was a priest of the light but had a dark side to him, who was banished from his priest posse and went to master the void. Now he's one of the most feared bosses in the game, with abilities that deal crazy poison damage, so you need to stack shields and heals if you want any chance of defeating him.
Tyler, we will get to you next. Rav, tell us what else is new in this happy place raid.
Well, if I didn't mention it, there's the brutal Hydra boss tormenting people, plus a ton of tournaments and events related to Valentine's Day with a brandy new champion I'm gonna get.
Have you thought about opening up your happy place to others?
Of course. In fact, if anyone uses my link in the description or scans my QR code, they will even get Silver Energy XP, a shard, and Terrell, one of the best champs to stay safe in my happy place.
Okay, thanks Rav, but I think we need to move to Tyler now.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Alright, let's cover what you need to shove down your pants to make this work. For runes, honestly, whatever teeters your totter. For the main tree, even though I enjoy these to assist in my murders, and then the off tree is what's important, because you want to go Enron level greedy here, where you take the free Nikes and then open up a credit card with Old Boris, because your first two items are among the cheapest first two items spike outside of supports in the game. Paired with these funny money runes, you'll be hitting your power spike before a dead ADC can say FF15. Now, I normally play the early game more passive than a pushover, but this frosted Legolas must have been possessed by the hard-stuck devil or something, so I put him in the playpen, peppered him down, and then tried to flash Q so that he couldn't react with a flash of his own, only for me to look giga stupid and still lose the kill to my kitty. This leaves Obama's wife alone and looking exhausted, so I casually ignore the entire House of Gryffindor waving their wands at me while my cat loses all confidence in my decision, only for me to be left in dire need of some zoomies. So a bit of IQ diff Rav syndrome, but you'll soon see why it doesn't matter with this strategy. Anyways, we get word that Jace Tallis is in town and wants to show us some Hextech gem he's been jerking off to in his bedroom at night, so naturally I contribute by flashing forward just to chuck a W into the wrong zip code. And while I may be Dumbledore, this Varys is just dumb, so he sticks around long enough for me to remember which key is my ult, and then my health bar is feeling in need of a nap, but I can't pass up on an opportunity to see Senna get slaughtered, so I sniff some ass gas coming off this Jace, who clearly thinks Senna is Mel, because boy did he bang her right after. That said, there's so much brain-dead fighting you'd think this was the replies of a political take on Twitter, so throw a MAGA hat on me and let's join this bloodbath as I get the chain bang 9000 before circling, strobing and slaying that sad excuse for an archer. Then I feel the need to excuse myself as I've been holding in a fat fart since breakfast, but Senna is kinky for that shit and won't stop trying to get a whiff, so I get frustrated and push my win fight button, which is enough to get her to screw off. Yone, he's who head is Bologna, is now a dead bitch, but thankfully Diego inherits windshitter syndrome and dies before a bit of a pickle and pucker prompt a blind bush bombing, and the teeny weeny wizards take the dub on this one. At this point I have Everfrost, which paired with the Uwu light show means I just have to successfully circle the Yordle and then the rest of the fight will take care of itself, which also means that the depressed toddler will be killed by my fucking cat. Side note, my team was actually getting bent over and step-sistered in a washing machine up until this point, but it was time to buy the SoloQ snowball repellent, which, not to spoil anything, would be the catalyst for some pending changes. It was at this point when I identified the Fed enemy, which means new nemesis, so in the next play you'll see when it had reached full stacks, which means 30% less damage for this soul-stealing / super stun psychopath. And while my gameplay is atrocious, I don't think it takes a mathematician to know that if his snowballed ass wasn't doing 30% less damage to me, he would have been sucking my soul into his anus, then using my magic for evil to ace my team and ultimately win the game. But instead we got a fat shutdown with no casualties, other than the wind shitter who solo died to a Teemo who, side note, found himself in a bit of a pickle right after, so we collectively informed him that dressing like the devil was cute enough. There's no need to dance with the devil as well by staying here when you'll likely get killed by the f***ing Yumi again. Anyways, e-girl support stealing shutdowns aside, I was still just counting my blessings that this Vex was on the enemy team, so yeah, 99 forms of CC is enough to kill a fail flashing depressed toddler. Now the following poem is called Anathema's Glee. Once upon a time I was rocking 850 AP, and a good chunk of HP, but I fell for the trap of following Jace, that useless PP, which long story short meant the next fight would be a GG. For me, as the rest of my team got wiped, you see. And even after I joined up with this Yone continued diving solo into a few more than 3. But when I saw Vex hit her ult ability, I just knew greed would make her feed, and we'd kill at least one enemy. But jeepers creepers, I ended up stunning 3, as 2 then died immediately, leaving just Vex with no way to flee. Green eggs and ham. We find ourselves in a bit of a forest festival, but my named nemesis no longer wants to be anywhere near me, so change of plans, Teemo's now going to be the next dead bitch. Of course that Fed ruined simp jumps at the first opportunity to jerk off a giant river wiener, but then he thinks post rub tug purple jizz celebration kill Voldemort's nipple is in order, but he seems to forgot this nipple made him his nemesis, which means he's going to grow old in a single stun before getting blown up. Then I flash away because I lack the awareness to tell that this Vex is about as useful as a white crayon and devote my attention to these gobnobblers as I ask Senna to hold God's shit, and then I run away while lagging out. Now, in case you were on the fence about if this Jace was factory defective or not, please see Exhibit A entitled, Yep. But luckily when I saw Vex score his number, it was like there was something in the air.
I smell death.
So yeah, she takes the dumb shits express straight into a sure death, and then I get rooted and forced to watch the largest failure NA as Freddy over here turns into Godzilla, and even though Anathemas makes his stuns long, I stay far away knowing that shitter could probably eat me in one bite, so I hobble around hoping my next round of cooldowns won't be dropped on the floor like my last, as Jace goes back to base and Diego goes invincible while healing for half his health. Love that mechanic, by the way, Riot. And then the pursuit continues, which is sloppy at best, but look at how long my stun puts him in timeout courtesy of Anathemas, and tell me this is not the counter to SoloQ snowballing. Quick update on Vex's journey this game. Quick update on Teemo's journey this game. Meanwhile mid my teammates must have been like pissed hurry Rav's not watching let's die really quickly as Vex hurls herself at Cho like a grape gets hurled at a stone wall and speaking of walls she then touched mine which at this point in the game means mortality. Viego is cosplaying as Yone which isn't something that I want to be a part of but I wouldn't mind asking Obama's wife if she has any short jokes and to also hold my dick. Now at this point powdered sugar Lord Farquaad over here went to the MR aisle and bought one of everything in order to specifically deal with me but unfortunately for him I bought one single item for a very affordable price specifically to deal with him plus the fact that I was slinging pussy quite literally and we came out on top. So my question to all of you in the stands who might be as bad and as hard stuck as me and Pisslow, what happens when you are in a nail biter of a game but you are able to remove the most fed player on the enemy team? The answer is that your team's win shitter probably still won't participate in what would have been a 5v4 but it doesn't matter because your build literally countered SoloQ and that my friends, is my essay on why Anathema's chains on a champ like Veigar is the most underrated item in League of Legends SoloQ. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Rav out.